Hello everyone and welcome to a readathon wrap-up. This particular readathon was hosted on Discord by Bridge for Books, and there is a reading challenge every month, or there has been. Some months I've only, out of the 5 or 6 prompts, I've only been able to do one, and so I haven't done a wrap-up, but this one I completed all the prompts. And this was the June Reading Rainbow Chain. Bridge for Books has a lot of monthly reading challenges, year-long reading challenges and stuff as well. So it's a real fun place to be. If I can link the Discord, I will link it in the description box. And I highly recommend checking them out. There are a lot of readathons. So if you like reading prompts to help you pick out a book, I highly suggest it. It's a great way to get some reading prompts. So this one is the start of a new reading challenge. And right now it's kicked off in June, and this is the June Reading Challenge, and the color for June was red, which that makes no difference with the books. It's called the Rainbow Chain because the image that the prompts are on will change color, and the prompts will change, but it's not like there has to be a red element, is my understanding on this, and that's not what I held myself to or anything. We're just going to have a different set of challenges each month, and the goal is to link the first prompt, and you do have to read these in order, but you need to link the first prompt that you complete all the way to the last book. So prompt 1 will link somehow to prompt number 2, and 2 to 3, etc. until the end. So let's go ahead and get in. So prompt number 1 is to read a book with red on the cover or in the title. For this one, I went with That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. This is a YA thriller. I gave this 4 stars. It was 290 pages. As you can see, there is red in the title. I mean, there's a little image here, so I could, on the cover, because it is on the cover, there's a little image here with a flame. And then the title is in red. So, debut for this author. I am very excited to see what else this author will come out with. There is another book stated. I don't remember when it will be released, but I have pre-ordered it because I loved the writing in this one. You do have a missing teenager, death of children or teens. They're teen ages, but they're still children. And that's a big thing in this. You have someone that has amnesia caused by trauma, and things are starting to come back, and then there's a lot of questioning. So yeah, there's also, if you are looking for a book that has LGBT representation in this does have LGBT rep. One of the 2 characters, we're following a female and a male. The male main character has 2 dads. One is, was it Puerto Rican or Guatemalan? I don't remember which one, but he's got 2 dads. So there is some LGBT rep on that, and he does reference his dads quite a bit in this. And the way he talked about them was very, very sweet. You can definitely tell, I got the vibes that you can definitely tell that this character truly cares for who he cares about and does not care for who he does not care about. I definitely got those vibes. So this was a fun read, and I do highly recommend this one. So prompt number 2 was to read a book that has the same number of vowels in the title as book number 1 that you read. So we have A, O, A, and E. So 4 vowels. So A, O, A, and E. I'm not counting Y. I know it's the sometimes Y, not counting that. I'm going with 4 definitive vowels. So now, 4 vowels in this. The next book I picked up needed to have 4 vowels on the cover. I went with Real Men Knit by Kwana Jackson. So Real Men Knit in the title, we have E, A, E, I. So 1, 2, 3, 4, Real Men Knit. 4 stars, 319 pages, contemporary romance. More on the mild of spice. There is a little bit of spice, but definitely much more mild compared to other books that I have recently been talking about and reviewing. Very sweet. There is another book out called Not This Time, and it follows, so the main character, the main male character in this one is Jesse, and he is basically known for being a player and having commitment issues, and it's a romance, so you can guess where it goes. The next book follows one of his brothers. He has 3 brothers, so there's only 2 books out in this. I hope there's going to be a book for each series, and it'll all be interconnected companion type books. So yeah, by Kwana Jackson, very sweet. Takes place in New York, I believe, but this one was just very sweet. Grief is a big 319 pages. A lot of this is grief and rebuilding a business after the loss of a parent and someone that you care deeply about. So grief is a big topic in this. Do be aware of that going into that as well. And as the parent, it is the mother. You do have, one thing I liked is there is talk about the brothers being in foster care, and then the mother that passed away is their mother that adopted them, called Mama Joy. Mama Joy adopted them, and she has since passed away. So very sweet. Hard to read at times due to the grief and it being such a focal point, but very sweet. 4 stars. Those are all the physical books. Well, one of them I will have a copy of because I loved it so much. I wanted my own copy, and I want to collect whatever books this author writes, but it has not arrived yet. But we'll get to that one later. Okay, so prompt number 3. So again, this one was 3, the same number of vowels as the first book. So 4 vowels. Prompt number 3 is to read a book that is, now this gives you a range of pages. So it's 20 pages more or less than book number 2. So this one was 319 pages, which means I needed to read a book that fell between 339 pages at the most and 299 pages at the least. So within that page range. So at least there's a page range. And I did read a book. I read a book that was 333 pages. I have unhauled this book. I did not like it. I gave it 1 star. It's not like that I didn't like it. There are elements that I liked, but I found it very boring. I was falling asleep. I was dreading picking it up. It's definitely not one I'm going to ever revisit or anything. It is definitely, in my opinion, better than the first book that I gave 0 stars to. At least this one got a star, but still not my thing. And so I think this author's writing is just not for me, at least at this point. That may change in the future. I read Legion by William Peter Blatty. Again, I did enjoy this one more than The Exorcist because Legion is a sequel. So yeah, Legion is the sequel to The Exorcist, and I was falling asleep and I was just bored. There is a lot of talk about people being in a mental institution or asylums. This came out in, I think it was 83, if I remember correctly, early 80s. And so a lot of talk of that, a lot of talk about people being quote unquote crazy. And so a lot of talk about that. It was just kind of very eye rolling. Now granted, that was the time, that's how people really talked and stuff like that. But I don't know. I honestly just found it boring. So 1 star. Let's go ahead and move on. So prompt number 4 is the letters from the title and the author's name from book number 3, so Legion, William Peter Blatty, need to make a word. So I need to take, and that word must be in the title of book number 4. So Legion, Legion, I took the L. In William, I took the A. In Peter, I took an E. And the R, okay? And that makes the word R-E-A-L, real. The next word I read is This Is Not the Real World by Anna Carey. Now this one I listened only via audiobook. It is the book number 2 in a duology. I gave this one 3 stars. So the ebook version is about 304 pages. And it was fine. Think if you've seen The Truman Show by Jim Carrey, that's what this book is. Basically, except instead of a adult male as the star of the show, this one is a young adult teenage female. And in this one, she's going back into this show and is trying to expose some stuff, and that's it. So 3 stars, and about I'm figuring out about the 304 pages. Again, I only listened via audiobook, and this one was a 6 hour and 49 minute audiobook. All of these I listened via audiobook as well, but since this one I did not read digitally or via physically, I'm only counting the hours on that one. Okay, now prompt number 5 is to read a book published the same year as the book that I read for prompt number 4. So prompt number 4, again, This Is Not the Real World, was published in 2022. So I needed to read a book that was also published in 2022. For this one, I went with A Letter to Three Witches by Elizabeth Bass. And I did order myself a copy of this. It's supposed to arrive today as of filming this book, but I wanted to get this video filmed and edited and scheduled. So I'll be having this book, and I've already got the second book. There's 2 books in this series so far. I hope there'll be more. And this was just really fun. It's a sweet romance. There is no sexually explicit content in this. So if you like a romance that is more on the sweet side, the language does get a little rough in it, but not overly bad. Like if I were reading a sexually explicit book. So this is definitely more sweet. It is not a religious sweet book. It's just a sweet romance. This one we're following a group of cousins. We're following one cousin, and she's with 2 of her other cousins. They're talking about a 4th cousin, and who sent a letter and alluded to the fact that that one cousin is going to be moving, and then a significant other in one of these other 3 cousins' relationships is basically going to go with her to New York. So kind of creates some turmoil and stress, and these cousins have some latent suppressed magical abilities. Turns out that generations past, someone screwed up, caused a natural disaster, and so the direct descendants could not practice magic for so many generations, and they still have like 2 generations to go before their family can start practicing magic again. But things start to bubble up with all the stress, and magical abilities start to come to the surface. And this had me giggling. It was fun. 4 stars, 292 pages, very sweet. This one also has an LGBT relationship in this one. One of the cousins is gay. Well, he could be gay, he could be something else. I'm just assuming he's gay. He does talk about, there's a lot of reference about his partner being a male and running for mayor, and the person that he's in a relationship with is bisexual. It does mention the word bi in there, so you do know that for sure, but there is that male-male relationship with the 2 cousins, and that one was very sweet to read, and things like that. So, yeah, this magic has to be kept secret, and no one's supposed to be practicing, but things start to happen, so it was just fun. So again, 4 stars, 292 pages. And those are the books that I read for June Reading Rainbow Challenge, hosted by Bridge 4 Books. Again, I will try to link the Discord in the description box. So that is 1,538 pages read for this. I am converting the audiobook to an ebook for this purpose. So 1,538. If I divide that by pages read per day for this readathon, it's 80.95, so just shy of 81 pages. But if I divide the 1,538 by the 5 books that are read for this prompt, that's 307.6 pages per book. As far as the star ratings, 1 book got a 1 star, 1 book got a 3 star, 2 a 4 star, and 1 a 5 star. So that's 17 stars issued for this readathon. Divided by the 5 books, that is a 3.4 star average. So pretty good readathon month for this one. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Have you or are you participating in the June Reading Rainbow Chain Challenge from Bridge 4 Books? Let me know your thoughts. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.